Welcome back to another video with That's Awkward ASMR. Today I am attempting another tier list. So I am ranking my favorite Stardew Valley characters, and obviously this is a extremely biased video where I'm choosing my personal favorites, but that doesn't mean that those are actually the best characters in the game or they should be your favorite characters. You are probably going to disagree with me because everyone likes different characters for different reasons, and that's 100% okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brings you a ton of relaxation. I hope it helps your day, whether you're having a bad day. I hope it makes it better, and if you're having a good day, I hope it makes it even better. Thank you so much for all the support you all give me and the lovely comments. Remember to like the video so that YouTube knows everyone's enjoying it and it will push it and more people can enjoy relaxing content. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, and let's jump in. The first person that we have here is Abigail, and Abigail is pretty cool. I like Abigail. I think she's an S tier because she is super adventurous and she like plays video games and she's just really chill, you know. She's really cool, and she's always been super nice to me in the game. Like right off the bat, some characters are obviously different. They all have different personalities, and some will be rude sometimes, and then as you get to know them they soften. But she was kind of cool from the beginning, and I really like her character design, and I think I've become best friends with her before. She's one of the characters you can date, one of the NPCs that are eligible for becoming married, or you can date them. And I think I got to the maximum Hart thing to be her friend, and so I think I've seen all her cutscenes, so she's just kind of like, feels like she's stuck in this town and wants to adventure, and I honestly wish I could ask her to like come to the mines with me or something. That would be so cool if you could do that with her, because she's so cool, and she actually plays a musical instrument, which is kind of neat. She kind of like every day goes, I think it's a flute or something like that, she goes and plays it by this tree, and it's really cool. So she's a really cool character, and I like Abigail, and yeah, so she's an S tier for me. She is an S tier character. Next we have Alex, and Alex is a little bit more interesting. Alex, at first I wrote Alex off as a meathead character. Do you know what I mean? Like that stereotypical like sports, and like, you know, he's kind of rude to you in the beginning. For me anyway, he was rude to me a little bit, and I was like, yo, I gotta get to know them all though. So as I was getting to know all of these characters and going through their hard events, Alex surprised me by having a deeper story about what happened to his parents and about the situation he's in and why he goes so hard for sports and things like that. And I was like, you know, shame on me first of all for like jumping like to conclusions. So I judged him pretty quick, and then I was quick to kind of like rewind and like reevaluate what I thought of him and like learn about his story, and it's pretty cool. And I think I've also gotten to max friendship with him as well before. I think there might have been one cutscene I didn't see. And he's pretty cool, and he's also eligible for marriage. I was originally gonna marry him, and then I ended up marrying no one, and like most of you know if you've seen my videos what I ended up doing, but I'll talk about that when we get to that character. But Alex is pretty cool. I think I'd put him at like maybe a B tier, and it's not because I don't like him. So like, let me tell you, S tier is like, they're the best, really awesome, like I love when I see them in town or whatever, they're like my favorites. A tier is like, yeah, they're pretty good, like I like them, and they're, you know, they're like an A, I like them. B is like, yeah, you know what, they're a good character, but it's not like they super stood out to me, do you know what I mean? And then C is like, you know, you could take him or leave him, they're not really like, they're just a character that's there. And then D is if I don't like them. And honestly, I don't think anyone's gonna go in D. I don't think I'm gonna hate anyone. I feel like these are gonna be it, because it's not like I really hate any of these characters as far as I can remember. Maybe Grandpa goes down. I'm just joking, but like honestly, I'm not sure that I hate them. So that's kind of like how I'm scaling this. I should always start the video with that, but this is a new series. If you enjoy it, this is a new series. I'm going to do 3 of these. And if you like them, we'll keep doing them with like different topics and different things. That is where Alex falls. This guy is, I'm pretty sure, just the bouncer from Mr. Quee. So I'm going to just put him there. Or no, in the Sandy place where you can go meet Sandy. So yeah, I'm going to just leave him there. I don't really, he's just the bouncer. I could take him or leave him. Maybe I haven't gotten to know him. Maybe there's something about him that I don't know, but as far as I know, he's just like a character that you just talk to like a couple times. Then we have Caroline. So, Caroline is Pierre's wife, right? Let me look through this. Yes. Caroline is Pierre's wife over here. So, Caroline is an interesting character, and I think I'd put her in A tier. I actually don't think I've been 100% friends with her yet. So some of these characters, I may not know something that you know and why you enjoy them, because I just haven't got there yet. But for her, she's gonna go in A. Caroline is Abigail's mom, and she seems kind of like, I don't know, she's kind of interesting, Caroline. She runs a thing on Tuesdays for like all the like women in town to go and like exercise. They all like exercise together, and it's really cool. So every Tuesday, any woman who owns a shop is not going to be there because they're all in the community like town thing, like dancing and like just working out together, which is really cool. And she has like, I feel like maybe she was adventurous in her past. I think from what I remember, I haven't talked to her in a while. Like I've just been busy with the update. But I know she gives you like an item where you can grow something on your farm, and she gives me these, like, I think it's tea leaves, and it's just so cute the way that whole cutscene happened. For me, I just was trying to be friends with everyone. My goal was to 100% friends with everyone I could in town, and I'm still working on it. And I went to give her something, and then a cutscene started, and her like, I went into her kitchen in her house, and it was really cute, and it was kind of nice. She has this secret area, and I think she says it's a secret just for herself, and I thought that was interesting. Her story is also interesting because she's married to Pierre, and he's like a workaholic, like really bad, and like doesn't spend time with them because he's super concerned about like going out of business because of Joja Corp, which is where this fool works. Where is he? There he is, this fool. And yeah, it's just kind of like, it's kind of interesting, her story. I like that there's very like deep stories with everyone in town, and like their interconnecting stories with each other is very interesting based on dialogue you'll hear at like events or things like that. So like every event, she's always kind of wishing Pierre would like spend time with the family, and then it kind of adds to like why Abigail wants to be adventurous. She sees her dad doing this like what she thinks is like boring work or whatever, and like she doesn't want to be like that and held back, and maybe like she gets it from her mom. So Caroline, I feel like, is this character that's, I think, more like her daughter than, I don't know, she's kind of like a mystery to me. That's how I would say her, and I like her being there, so I'd put her in A tier. I really like Caroline. I'm ranting too long about them. Oh my. Next is Clint. Clint is really cool, and honestly, I like Clint. He's kind of interesting. He's like the blacksmith in town, and he's like has a huge crush on Emily, and like I almost wish that you could have watched him and Emily get together because of just how like I wanted to see his character grow into being more confident, I guess, but he never really does that because Emily is a marryable like NPC, so like he can't be with her because that's an option for you as the main character or your farmhands if you play with people. And it's just kind of like, it's kind of sad. I think his character is like seems super lonely and super shy, and like tries to get out of his shell in some scenes, but he just can't bring himself to do it, and it makes me feel sad because I feel like I'd be like that. I'd be so shy and miss the opportunity. It's just kind of sad. And like I like his character because I feel like that type of shyness, because I have really bad social anxiety, I can relate to. So I think that's why I'm like, yeah, man, it's kind of like, yeah, I get it. Like, you're super shy or whatever. And like, it was kind of like interesting for me personally to see that happen because like, I feel like that could happen to me really easily, like get too shy or like have too much anxiety and miss out on things because I'm too scared. So it was kind of like a deep thing, like when I started playing this, because when I started playing this, I had just turned 20, I think. I was like 19, just turned 20. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to experience that. So, or see that story kind of unfold and be like, that's a bit relatable in a way to my life. I always, for some reason, when I play games, try to find something about the main character relatable to me, and then I like grab that one thing and like really connect myself to the story. I don't know why. Do you do that? I feel like that's just how I play games. So yeah, I like Clint. He's not necessarily an S tier, but I think his character is important, and I like that about his character. Then we have Demetrius, and I'm not even gonna lie, Demetrius could stay or go. I've tried to become friends with him, and I feel like I'm pretty high on my friendship with him, but I feel like I don't know anything about him. Maybe I just don't remember all of it, but I just feel like I don't know, for me, he didn't click with me. Like like in real life, some people just don't click with you. You're like, I don't know. But it's not that I don't like him, it's just like he could be there or he could not be there, and I personally wouldn't be upset either way. It's just like he's just a character that's there for me. And it's kind of weird. And Maru's kind of like that too for some reason. I'll get into that, but I don't know why. For some reason, he doesn't like jump out at me, or there's like nothing I could get that connection to, but he could be like someone watching, for example, could have found that connection with him. That's why it's like super biased when you talk about characters in games, and when people are like, well, that's not true, that they're not good, it's because it's usually something that connected to them. So you can't be mad at people for liking a certain character in a game, you know what I mean? Like, they probably just connected to them, but I didn't connect to Demetrius. Yeah, but he's still a good character. They're all good characters, it's just my personal feelings. The dwarf, okay, literally, Dwarf is so cute. And I'm pretty sure Dwarf's supposed to be an alien, and that's awesome. So Dwarf is an S tier because they're so cute, and they're, when you like learn their language, when you collect all the scrolls like in the mines, it's so cute, like talking to them, and I'll bring them presents. I think they like pumpkins or something. I like will bring that to them, and I like it. I like being friends with non-human characters in this game a lot, whenever I can be. Which will explain Crocus in a minute, but like, yeah, I like Dwarf a lot. This is, Elliott. Elliott is honestly, I feel like maybe a B tier, because I feel like I like him being there, but it's not like he's super important to me that much. Like, he's there, and it's an interesting story, but I'm pretty sure from what I remember, my sister and I, when we first got the game, were trying to see who would marry him first, and I ended up realizing I didn't want anyone living on my farm except for me, so I just didn't get married. And then she married him, and she said she regrets it because he's boring. So what I learned from him is just that he's basically a writer, I think, and he gets writer's block or something like that. I'm sure there's more to his story, but from what I remember of what I had learned, I never really connected with him, and I kind of was like, oh, he's just kind of like really dramatic and stuff, which is funny because I'm over dramatic and stuff in real life, but I don't know, I didn't really click with him, but I feel like he is good to be there, and it's nice to have him there, and I notice, when he's there and stuff like that, but I never he doesn't stand out, too much from like everyone else, so he's gonna stay there, but he's kind of like the super, I think he writes romance novels or something. I don't remember a lot of his story, honestly, but I remember when I first was getting to know him, I was kind of like, oh, my sister can have him, I don't want to be with him. Emily is honestly so cool. It's kind of sad, look, she's beside Clint, but she's honestly, so cool, and, just chill and vibing, and she, teaches you to sew and stuff, and she's just kind of, hanging out. And she's so tries to be super positive. And I think her and her sister, I don't think I've been complete friends with her sister Haley. I think I've been complete friends with her. But there's like a note on their fridge that their parents are gone, and like I don't know what happened to them, and I don't know if you find out what happens to them through Haley, if that's why Haley has like issues or something. So I don't know that yet. So if you know that, don't spoil that. But like, I'm trying to become friends with Haley now. She was like one of the next people. I was like working on just bringing presents every day and like talking to them, so your heart level goes up. But yeah, Emily's cool. She's really cool, and I just feel like maybe she's like super happy to mask like whatever happened to their parents, whether their parents like were lost at sea or something, like, or maybe they, I don't know, like I don't know what happened to them, but they are like supposed to be younger, but they don't have parents living with them. And that note you find where it's like from their parents are like, oh, we'll be back soon or something. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, I like Emily because she's super cheery and like happy, and she's just like really nice. But I think there's like some kind of darkness like going on in her life or something, and maybe she hides it, but she seems super cool. I don't know, that's just the vibe I got. I could be like totally off though. This is Grandma. I think her name's Evelyn, but I call her Grandma because I pretend she's my grandma. And I like her, but I don't actually think she's like S tier. I just really like her. And I love visiting her, and I'll bring her like sweet, which is probably bad because what if she's diabetic? Like, I don't know that. I shouldn't be doing that, but that's what she likes. She like is so nice to me, and she I think was the first NPC I actually talked to when I played the game. I think I walked into town, I was like, yo, this game is so like cool. And then she was just there and she was like, hello, and I was like so happy to meet her. So like I really like her, and I just call her Grandma now. You know what? Maybe she's S tier. She's my grandma. Or I think she tells you to call her Granny, actually. But her name is Evelyn. This is her husband, and I'm going to put him here because, like, his story kind of blew me away. So George, this is George, and he always is super rude. Like, super mean. He hates everyone. He's super rude. And, like, he's just grumpy, you know? And I was like, there's got to be a reason this dude's so grumpy. So I started being his friend. He likes peppers, so I was bringing him peppers a lot. And he actually, like, tells you, like, I thought he was in the wheelchair for, like, old age, but he's in the wheelchair for other reasons. And I'm like, whoa, I never, like, I wouldn't have known that unless I talked to him. And it was kind of interesting hearing about his, like, what happened to him and stuff like that, and why he is the way he is. And he, like, knows he's grumpy, you know, and he's kind of, like, just kind of sour on life. And I'm like, you know, I vibe that. And yeah, you know, he's kind of interesting. I like him. More as I got to like talk to him, I liked him more and more. So yeah, that's George. So Gil, honestly, is, I could take him or leave him. Gil runs the guild in town, and like, or no, Gil doesn't run. I don't know if he runs it, but he just sits in this rocking chair and just like only talks to you when you're worthy, like a worthy adventurer, when you've done a certain amount of things in the mining and fighting monsters. And so I don't know, it's like, I don't know how you get to know him, and I don't think you can like give him gifts and get to know him as a friend. I think they're called non-giftable NPCs, and he's a non-giftable NPC, just like with the bouncer. So there's like, I can't get to know him, and he's just kind of like an NPC that's there that like provides something for you, but never really talks to you. Because it's actually, it's usually Marlin, who, right here, this guy, who like actually deals with you. Like, this guy doesn't really, he just sits in a chair in the corner. So then we have the governor, and the governor also is like just part of an event. I think he's also a non-giftable character. He just comes and tastes some soup in the summer, and if you throw a whole bottle of wine, like including the glass, like the whole thing, he'll just eat it and think it's good. So he has no taste in food. You can't interact with him. Literally, same with Grandpa. Like, Grandpa is, you could say, is actually really impactful because it's why you're there. But like, Grandpa just gets me stressed trying to make my farm beautiful in a certain amount of time for him. And he did, so, you know, I'm just gonna leave him down there. Then we have Gunther, and Gunther is the museum owner, and I kind of like Gunther. I'm gonna put Gunther there. Gunther is obviously like important, but for being the museum owner, and that's how you get collectibles. But I just kind of like Gunther's flow, you know? Like, look at Gunther's vibe, look at Gunther's flow. Gunther also looks like he's, you know, low-key, like, doing some shady stuff. Straight up, like, low-key, high-key, doing some stuff. So, you know, but I just think Gunther's kind of, like, got a vibe going, and I like Gunther, so I'm putting him there. I have, Gus here. Gus is really nice. I really, really like Gus. I've been trying to get to know him more. Him and Emily, like, because they're in the same place of work, I go there and, like, give them both gifts, like, double the gifts up, because they both work in the same area, so I can get two friendships up at once. So he was also one I was working on, and it was kind of interesting. I feel like him and Pam, I don't know, like, he's really concerned about Pam, as far as I know. Pam is down here. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like, I wonder if there's something there, but I think I needed another, like, cutscene with him. But it just seems like he's really genuinely concerned about, like, Pam and Penny and, like, their family. And he, like, knows what's up with their family. I have this, like, vision in my head of what he'd be like in real life. I'm like, that guy's chilling. Like, that guy's good. The next person is Haley, who I think is, like, hella misunderstood. A lot of people, when they first meet her in Stardew Valley, are like, she's so mean and whatever, and she insults you left and right. And I always was like, you know, her sister's so nice, and then she's the so opposite. And I was like, something's got to be going on with them. And then sure enough, when I saw the note about the parents, something's up. She also has a locked door in her room, and I'm not friends enough with her to go in or see what it is. So that's sus. So there's, like, a lot I don't know about Haley yet. But as I've talked to her, she's not as mean to me anymore. And she's actually really supportive of stuff that I do the more you become friends with her. So I feel like she definitely is more, like, relatable and probably more likable as you get to know her. Like, I would say give her a chance and really become friends with her and put up with it until you find out what it is. I don't even know what it is, like the secret whatever. It seems like all of them have a secret ultimate thing that you, like, learn about them or something. So yeah, I'm, like, still excited to learn about Haley. I still have a lot to learn about Haley. Next, we have Harvey, and honestly, I just found out about Harvey's, like, thing that makes him, like, you know, his story. Harvey, like, I was roasting him. I actually was streaming on Twitch when I was playing, and his, like, cutscene popped up, and he's, like, basically... It's funny because he's the doctor, but he's too blind to fly an aircraft. And I was like, I was going to marry him at one point, and then I decided not to. As I was, like, getting to know him, I just decided, I was like, nah, it's cool. We can just be, like, friends. But I feel like at the end of the day, I could take him or leave him. Like, it's not, you know, he's just, like, another NPC in the game for me. But, of course, your opinion can be different, and your experiences can be different, so. I'm looking it up. His name's Henchman. I don't remember where this guy is. I honestly don't remember, so I'm just gonna throw him here, because if I don't even remember, I obviously can leave him, you know, take him or leave him. So next we have Jazz, and Jazz honestly can go here. It's not that I don't like her, I just am like, I think she is important to the story of other characters, and I'm kind of like, what happened to her? Their parents, like, her and Shane are siblings, and I'm like, what happened to their parents? I don't remember if I found out from Shane, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, Jazz, and, like, trying to become the kids' friends is something I've been trying to doing, which sounds kind of like, whenever I think about it, like, I'm bringing them, like, I'm an adult bringing them ice cream and stuff, so they'll like me, but I just want to see the cutscenes to see what their personal stories are as kids. But that's so creepy. Like, I'm literally a grown adult every day going out of my way to bring them ice cream. Like, her and Vincent. Like, I feel so creeper when I'm doing it, but, like, I want to get to know them as friends. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but, like, I haven't become friends with her enough to get a cutscene. Because it took me a while to figure out what she likes. She's very specific in, like, the type of things that she likes. So yeah, it's been kind of interesting getting to know Jazz. So I have, like, not a lot of information about her. So I do think she's important, but I just don't know enough to put her like up here where I know about her story and I'm invested, you know? Then we have Pierre. Pierre honestly borders on like I don't need him, but then he's also important. I'm trying to get to know him, and something that's kind of sad about Pierre is when you give him a gift, like if you walk behind the counter and give him something, he seems shocked. Like, oh, you're giving me a gift? Like, it seems like everyone in town writes him off as like fanatical about his work because he is, but I think that comes from an insecurity and a fear about himself not being able, I don't know, like to provide for his family, maybe going out of business, like losing his business or something like that. Because he's always doing things to like raise prices just to compete with Joja or like other ways they can get their foods and stuff like that. So he's kind of interesting. I still want to keep getting to know him, but I definitely don't know enough about him to like place him exactly where he should be. But I definitely like him. Like I'm not sure about his story yet. I'm still learning about him, but I feel like it's kind of their family is kind of interesting. And there's also like there's honestly people think that, oh wait, I just realized, oh no, here he is. They think this guy and Caroline did something. People think that this guy, the wizard, and Caroline had Abigail secretly, because Pierre like neglects Caroline and like doesn't talk to her and whatever because he's always working, and that's why Abigail has purple hair. And she likes adventuring and stuff, and I'm just here like, I'm not gonna say nothing. So yeah, kind of interesting, and I kind of feel bad for, you know, I want to learn about him. I just want to learn about him because I feel like I'm judging him the way the town kind of judges him and talks about him. So I feel like I want to get to know the real Pierre, you know? So we have Jody. And Jody is kind of interesting. Her story is about her husband Kent went away to fight in the alien war. That is accurate. Look up the lore. There is an alien war happening. That is where Kent was. I'm literally not even kidding. You can look it up. While he's gone, she seems like she kind of like is super disconnected from him because he's been gone for so long and he comes back different, which is a common thing that happens. That can happen when like people have spent a lot of time apart. They have different life experiences and they just grow apart and they're different people when they've spent that much time apart. And I don't know if they were communicating while he was away. She just seems like really lonely and she thinks about like leaving, and it's kind of her, she's like really sad. She seems like she has like really bad depression basically, and I'm like, Harvey, you're the doctor, get on it. But like, yeah, she's really sad, and like I wasn't expecting her to have this like such a sad vibe, and like I have really bad depression, so like I related to her. That's like the thing that I related to her about. Her story was that like she just feels kind of sad with how her life is, and like feels like maybe she needs to run away, but she has her kids and stuff, and like she is at like, it's like she has a mini war inside herself, and it's like super deep stuff for like what I think people think Stardew Valley is. It's always like when you get to know all the characters alone, it's way deeper, and then all the bonus content he keeps releasing, it's just, this game has become something else. Like it's not just a farming sim, this game is something else. But yeah, so she's kind of interesting. She's an interesting character, and I think I still have one more thing to go through with her, in her friendship. So when I see it, I will know the final thing she wants me to know, but kind of interesting. She's kind of interesting, and I didn't expect that from her character as I got to know her. Then we have her husband, and honestly, it's not that I don't like, I'm gonna leave him here. I feel like I don't know a lot about him. I tried to get to know him, but a lot of the gifts I give him freak him out. Like, they bring up trauma. And so it's taken me a while to like gain his trust and actually actually be his friend. So I'm not really good enough friends to have had. I think I only had one cutscene with him or two cutscenes. Now that I kind of know what he likes, I'm gonna, like, I try to do it without the wiki the first time. I know I can look at the wiki, but I try to do it without it, and then when I need it, I'll look at it. So I ended up using it because I just couldn't figure out what he liked, and now I'm starting that friendship, but it's definitely taken a while to get that friendship with him. So I don't know enough about him, but I'm still really curious about how he feels and if he'll express how she's feeling in their marriage. Like, if what his feelings are, you know, about it. Because he obviously feels different than, like, whatever alien things he saw than, like, from before he left, right? And then we have Crocus, absolutely S tier, 100%. All the way up here, because Crocus, okay, why can't I see Crocus? Okay, this is Crocus. Crocus is a shadow person. I think that's what they're called. And Crocus was living in a dank sewer underground because the light hurts him, and then came to live with me as my friend, and that's what I decided. Instead of getting married, I had Crocus be my friend. It had just happened in this update as I was getting ready to just go after Harvey. That sounds really aggressive. As I was getting to know Harvey and I was going to like reach this level where I could be friends with him and then ask him to date, I found out Crocus could live with you, and I really liked Crocus. Like, I would go visit Crocus even when I didn't have to because I just really liked him. And when I found out he could live with me and my friend, I was like 100%. So that's why I never technically got married. I just have like a roommate now, like living with me. And I love Crocus. Like, I literally love it. Crocus has like anxiety and depression and like whatever. And some days Crocus, like, I just don't feel like talking. And I'm like, I give Crocus a hug. I'm like, straight up, like, take your time. And I just like it. Like, I just like it. And I feel like I relate to Crocus a lot. And I just like Crocus. That's my best friend. That is my best friend I was gonna say Animal Crossing, in Stardew Valley. So Crocus is S tier 100%, like my favorite. I love Crocus. Then there's Leah, and honestly, Leah could stay or go. I've learned a bit about her backstory. Like, she was an artist, she had a bad breakup, she came to Stardew Valley kind of to start fresh and like get inspiration, and she does a lot of really nice sculptures, but I feel like there's a couple friend things I haven't learned about her to like put her anywhere else. Like, I don't know enough about her or like where her story's going, but like I know a lot of people still really like her. Honestly, I didn't even realize her house, like the first time I was playing like years ago, I didn't even realize where she lived because her house is like under Marnie's house and I never paid attention to it. Then we got Lewis, who's like the mayor or something, and like Lewis is some dirty laundry, and like I literally wear it in the game. Lewis is interesting. I'm trying to get to know Lewis better as a friend, but I don't know enough about Lewis, honestly, to like put him anywhere. Again, kind of like Leah, I don't stick out. I'm here for the drama that actually, you know what? I'm here for the drama Lewis brings. Lewis brings a lot of drama, and I don't know enough about Marnie's story at all. Like, I just don't. But I want to know because she is apparently their aunt, like Jess and Shane's aunt. And I'm like, how did you have to like start taking care of them and stuff? So like, I'm interested in her story. But right now Lewis won't talk to me because I'm wearing his underpants. Lewis and her having a fling literally in the bushes. Literally in the bushes. You catch them. Like, what is this game? E for everyone? But like, their story is really like interesting and full of a lot of drama, and I don't remember why they won't let everyone know they're like together. I don't remember why. I don't remember if it's because he's the mayor and he has to stand a certain way, but I feel like no one in town would care, and everyone kind of knows. Like, it seems like people know, but they're keeping it a secret. It's kind of interesting. I started to get to know Marnie, and I found some interesting stuff in like letters and diary things, and like it's kind of interesting, but I think I need a refresher. So like, she's really interesting to me, her story. And Lewis is he just doesn't even talk to me because I'm wearing his underpants. It's kind of funny. This is Linus, and he is chooses to not have a home in town and live off of like fruits and vegetables and things like that, and that's it. He said he likes to live that way. Because I actually asked him to live on my farm, but he got offended and he's like, this is how I choose to live. But I just wanted a friend on my farm, but like I wanted to obviously respect his wishes. So he just lives in a tent and just eats berries and stuff, and I'll bring him like different kinds of foods he enjoys sometimes. Or can you gift other items? I think he just likes berries and stuff. I give him a lot of berries and things like that. He's max friendship with me, and honestly his whole thing was just learning about how he likes to be without a home and living in the tent and things like that, which I guess that's technically his home, but some people in town agree, some people don't, and you learn how some of them will treat him, which is kind of interesting. So I really like him a lot. I really like Linus, and I like getting to know him usually first. Like he's the first person my siblings and I usually get to know and like help out. So then we have this guy's name is Marlin, right? Yeah. So Marlin, honestly, I mean, he's important because he's the guild dude, but like again, just like with Gil, like the guild is for getting weapons, and then you leave, you're in there for 5 minutes, and like there's a stat keeper of the monsters you defeat in the mining caves, and I don't know, I don't really vibe with him, and I'm not really like invested in him. Maru's also a C tier because I feel like as I was getting to know her, actually, you know what? I don't really know her that well. That's probably why she's down here. I don't really know her that well. I feel like I was trying to get to know her, but it was expensive because she likes iridium and stuff like that. Now that's easy for me in my finished game. I think it's like 165 hours in that game now. So I'm pretty rich, you know, in the game, and I can get her those things, but I just haven't. So I think I need to invest more time in her friendship and learn her story before I can make, you know, whether, you know, like I can put her up here. So I just take her or leave her because I don't know enough of her story yet. This guy, honestly, okay, I said I didn't hate anyone, but I hate this guy. He sucks. He tries to run everyone out of town. He's being the greedy big up corporation for Joja Mart. And he literally walks into Pierre's place and just declares their prices are better, and it like stresses this man out. This guy sucks. So I know he's doing his job, but like, don't do it that way. Mr. Quee, I could take him or leave him. He just like does these interesting things, and he's interested in you, and he's kind of like, I mean, look at him, man's on fleek, but like, you know, I could take him or leave him. His quests are really like big and strenuous, and he gives you good rewards, but after you're done you don't like remember Mr. Quee. He has a casino, I think, and there's something else in the update that he has, but I haven't gotten it yet. So I don't know, he's kind of like this mysterious kind of dude with like these connections or something. Pam for me is honestly in the A tier and could end up in the S tier if she like helped clean up her life a bit. She's verbally and mentally abusive to Penny, which is so sad because Penny's so kind, and like honestly Penny's like Miss Honey from like Matilda. Do you remember that? Like that's what Penny's like. She's like always reminds me of Miss Honey from Matilda, like having this really hard home life, and like teaching the kids and trying to be like really warm and like soft, and she like spends time by herself a lot. I think I got halfway in her heart thing, so I really like Penny. And yeah, Pam is interesting. There's something that you can do to kind of, it seems like, to help Pam, and I'm trying to achieve it in my game, but it's taking a long time. But I feel like Pam kind of knows she needs to change, and she's just kind of stuck in her situation. And it's kind of interesting. They're both kind of interesting. So I like Pam because I feel like she can be better, and I really want the game to like let me help her be better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to help them be better, like as individuals, and achieve the things they want to achieve and stuff like that. So I feel like that's why I like Pam, even though she's so like bad and stuff like that. It's not even that I like her. She's just, I want to change that situation. Like, I can understand being in a situation like that, and so like a lot, I just wish I could fix it, I guess. I don't know. Here is Robin, and if I could hate, no, Robin, just like, I could take her or leave her, honestly. She's insulting when you first get there, and has this really like proud attitude, kind of, and like it's almost like she feels like she's better than you sometimes in dialogue from my perspective. Again, this is just my perspective. And then she's really like condescending, it seems like. But then she'll be like, oh, but like come by and like buy things from me. And I'm like, you're kind of rude though. Like, so I don't know, I'm trying to get to know her as well. She's someone I've just started as well, like was next on my list of NPCs to get to know. And yeah, so for now she's like, I could leave her, but I could take her or leave her. It's not that I hate her or anything. I'm like, you know, why are you like this? You know, why are you like this, Robin? I could take, honestly, this is, oh dude, why can't I remember his name? This is Sam. Oh my, it's the easiest 3-letter name. Sam, I honestly could take or leave. I don't know about his story too much. Again, I have to become friends with him. And I feel like from his like parents' dynamic and things like that, I'm not sure how he feels about that stuff or if he notices or if that's a part of his character development. So I kind of have to talk to him as well. He was another person on the list. So I just don't have enough information to say yes or no. But I want to know him. Sandy, I don't know enough either. I really need to get to know Sandy, like a lot. Like I really need to get to know her. I definitely don't visit that. I feel like is the relationship that you can have with her, like the friendship with her, going to be enough of a payoff to spend that much money every day busing, because you have to bus to the desert every day to give her something. So I feel like that's something I'm gonna do last, unfortunately, just because there's so many other things that I'm doing, from the Ginger Island update to like stuff on my farm to like, you know, there's just so many other things I'm prioritizing that like unfortunately her character comes last in how much I want to be friends with her. And it's kind of sad, but like it's just the truth. Like I'll know about Sandy one day. I think she's super cool and chill, but just like not today. I don't know. So she kind of just stays down there. Sebastian's kind of interesting. I could honestly though take him or leave him. He has this story where he like has like a motorcycle and he has like these things that in the garage and he's like tinkering with them. And I don't think that's Max Hart. I think that's second before the Max Hart thing. So I've really gotten to know him, but he doesn't like stand out for me either way. He's just kind of there. And for me anyway, I know other people have related to him, but for me, I didn't relate to him that much. And yeah, I just wasn't really clicking with him, but he's cool and I'm glad he's there. Like the only person that I'm like, yo, you suck is Morris. All these people, I like them all being there. It's like either way, they're there, they're not there, it's good. Same with the wizard. I picked that out of order, but like, yeah, the wizard is also just like, I could take him or leave him. He has like an ex-wife and stuff like that. He's kind of interesting. The drama, like with this situation and him is interesting if that's true, but I feel like I'm not friends enough with him yet to know that, and that's was another person I was going to be friends with after. Then there's Shane, who honestly can go here because I like him. He's kind of interesting. He has a drinking problem, and I think he has like aggression issues. He says it to you at some point, and you find him in a sad situation. You kind of help him, but he's like caring about animals and things like that, and his sister. So he's kind of interesting, but I didn't learn about what happened to his parents or why they're with their aunt from his story, as far as I remember. But I think I maxed friendship with him as well. Then we have Vincent, who I'm also going to put like right next to Jess because I don't know, they're always together. Vincent, I don't know anything about, again, because like the kids are hard to be friends with and I always feel creepy trying to be their friend. So I want to learn about him, see if he recognizes his family situation, but yeah, I don't know. And then Willie is an S tier because I really like Willie. I like Willie. He just seems like that nice like guy in town who's like, I don't know, he's kind of quiet and whatever, but he's got your back, you know, if something happens, he's got your back. So, yeah, I kind of feel like that with Willie, and I'm like friends with him, and he's always taking me to Ginger Island now, so I feel like I hang out with Willie a lot nowadays. but I like Willie. So yeah, I think that is my tier list for Stardew Valley characters, of the ones that I think are top tier, the ones I could take or leave. Like top tier, best, the characters I like the most, and they're like really, really cool. I have A tier for the ones that I really like and I'm invested in their stories. B tier is for the ones where I've either not gotten to know them enough, or actually, wait, Marnie needs to go up here. I'm really invested in Marnie's story. Sorry. B tier is where I'm kind of like, you know, I know them or I'm getting to know them, but I'm really not sure about them, if I like them, you know, if I could take them or leave them. I feel like they need to be there, but I'm just not sure. And then these are characters I could take or leave. I don't like it's not like I don't like them, I just don't feel anything about them either way, either because I don't know enough about them yet, or I've learned about them, or they're just side NPCs that you can't really do anything with. And then Morris is king of down below, down there, just being by himself because he's rude to everyone in town and I don't like him. So yeah, that's my Stardew Valley tier list. This video is going to be so long. I hope you enjoyed me rambling and just chatting about these characters and what I've learned, my personal bias for these characters. If you have tier lists, share them with me, like send them at me on Instagram, DM me, at me on Instagram, at me on Twitter, and I was going to say Discord, not DM. You can show them up on Discord on the Stardew Valley channel. That'd be really cool to like see your tier lists. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought you a lot of relaxation, and as always, I hope that you have sweet, sweet dreams of gaming.